You don't have to do it.
We gotta see your face.
So,
There you go.
anyway, I explained that, the stats are all out there by the FHFA. That's the government reporting agency. They've been doing stats since 1975 in all the entire country. And in the last 3 months, Colorado's real estate's only up 0.2%. Well, we don't do math on quarterly increases of value. That's too short of a time span. Nobody does math on that. If you move that bar over to the next spot, it's last year, and you can move it all the way over, but this is where I get out of it because it starts getting too confusing when you move it too far that way. Colorado's real estate up 9.5. And keep in mind, guys, that's corner to corner. That means in Craig, Colorado, their values are increasing, right? It doesn't mean just the Springs or just the Denver metro area.
Hey, Bjorn, can you scroll that up so I can see Alabama?
This is kind of a cool little thing because it's all interactive too. You can click on these states and do what he's going to click on Colorado. That's where we started. When I walked in, you guys were clicked on Colorado. So go ahead and click on Colorado, Bjorn.
We look at Arizona.
Oh, I get the spreadsheet. You don't need that calculator.
Well, what happened? What's this?
It's a spreadsheet, so you don't have to use your calculator.
What a guy.
So, let's click on Colorado Springs, right?
In the past year, the past quarter, past year, 11.5, you guys are beating the state average, 9.5, right? You guys are 2 points higher than the state average. You guys are helping the average of the state go up. 44% in the last 5 years. In the last 10 years, we still haven't recovered, obviously, from that bubble, right? From when the bubble burst. But nobody cares about all these stats. This is the one really we need to do math on, okay? Because this is the average since 1979. Now, the state averages are from 1975 when the government started doing that, the work. If Bjorn clicks the state again, it'll be about 5 point something. But you guys are kind of more interested in what's going on in my area in the Springs.
Mm-hmm.
So go back to the spreadsheet now. If you buy a $300,000 house in Colorado Springs using basically a 40-year estimate, a 40-year average at 4.18, your value goes from 300 to 400. On top of that, year 2, because this is compounding, right? It's not just, you don't just add it all up in times 4 years, because it compounds. As the value goes up, it goes up. You use the same average. So in 5 years, he's got $68,000 in equity built into this house. Well, when I'm meeting with your clients, I'm showing them that they're also paying down their loan in 5 years, okay? Mm-hmm. So you come in and you buy a house with 3% down or 5% down, and you're going to get your down payment back, of course, when you sell it too, right? You're paying down your mortgage, your value's going up. That delta is what I usually do the math on, okay? We're seeing just from the flat line, almost $70,000 of increase in value, but meanwhile, they're going to pay their mortgage down 20 grand or more, 20 or 30 grand even, depending on what's going on with their particular loan. If they pay down their loan $30,000, they got 100 in equity built up in 5 years. So that's a lot of money. Mm-hmm. So some people are thinking, well, do I really want to buy a house now, or should I save up my 20% down? Well, isn't that a nice 20% down payment on their next house? Mm-hmm. So also I bring up to your clients that they may not be buying their forever home when they're buying their first home. You know, they're going to have to settle a little bit. If they have a list of 9 things that they really want out of a house, I need 4 bedrooms, I need 2 bathrooms, I need this, I need that. Maybe they're going to have to settle for 6 out of 9 on their first home, but maybe they'll get everything on their next home, on their forever home. So that's how I usually chat with them to try and bring them down to earth. Sometimes their lists are this long, what they want on their first home.
Mm-hmm.
But
and it becomes stabilizing. You know, they just stay renting and...
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. So I try and encourage them to know that the math is in their favor with real estate. It's always been in their favor. I've been an advocate of real estate my whole life. When the market got soft, I've owned a home during 4 recessions. And every time the market got soft, I just didn't sell. I waited for it to come back to where at least I broke even, right? So there is a way to make money in real estate. You don't have to sell at the bottom of the market. People have these fears that there's another bubble coming. But in honesty, there's another stat that I was going to try and add to that little map thing. We have not hit the ownership, the average ownership that we've had in this country yet. So even though the values are going up and there's more home ownership happening, we haven't even hit the per capita average yet of home ownership. Which we were about 20 points higher than that average back in the last boom. Remember, the last boom was caused by subprime loans. Everybody and their brother bought multiple houses, right? So there was a lot more home ownership back then, and we haven't even hit back to the average yet.
So
So
that's
it's big
50 or
enough hole.
60% or so?
It's a little under 60, I
A little
think.
under
Yeah,
60.
but I had that stat and I didn't add it to this thing, and I'd forgotten about it, what it was. So questions on that?
That's awesome.